one, of course, you got Nicolas Cage in it. So, how did he become to be involved with it? Was he kind of your first choice to lead Prisoners of the Ghostland? And what was it like with Nicolas Cage?
今回ニコラス・ケイジと一緒にやることになったと思うんですけど、彼がどういうふうにこのプロジェクトに入ってきたかっていうこと、あと彼は、そのさんにとって一番やりたかった人っていうか、なんていうのかな、一番最初に考えてた人だったかどうかっていうことを教えてください。
今から3年ぐらい前に、今通訳している森さんが、この映画のプロデューサーでもあるんだけど、彼が、シナリオを持ってきて、読んですぐにこの映画をやることに決めたんですけど、その時には、まだヒーローは誰がやるか決まってなくて、それから1年ぐらいしてからかな、ニコラスに、僕はこれがデビュー作なんで、キャスティングについてどういうふうにやったらいいのか、少し日本のスタイルと違うし、難しかったんで、森さんたちに任したんだけど、そしたらニコラス・ケイジはどうだって感じで来て、もちろんニコラスは素晴らしいねってなって、どうやらニコラス・ケイジはもううまくトントンと決まりまして、で、ニコラスになんで僕にしたんだいって彼が東京に遊びに来た時に聞いたら、僕の映画がすごい好きになったと。だからすごく信用できると思ってるっていう。で、うまくいくだろうと思った。
はい。ありがとうございます。Yeah, actually, it was about, in fact, 4 years ago that, well, actually, I'm translating here, but I'm also the producer of the film. And I brought the script to him, and he immediately liked the script or the whole thing, the idea of it, the script, and he decided to take it. But then at that point, there was no cast for Hero or anybody else attached. And then since this was literally his first project, English language project, he he wasn't quite sure how things should be proceeded, so that he actually let the producers take on and see what happens in terms of the casting. And then somehow the Nick Cage's name popped up, and then of course, Nick Cage is a legend. Then soon after, apparently Nick Cage came on board. That was pretty quick. And then when Nick and Sion first met in Tokyo, before the shoot, they had this conversation, and why did you thought that this, why did you want to come on board for this project? Sion asked him, and then Nick said that Nick had seen some of the films already, and then Nick loved Sion's work, and then somehow there was trust as a filmmaker there that Nick really wanted to make that happen with Sion.
Yeah, and you've also got kind of a lot of Japanese cast, and like one in particular who's pretty well known in Japan is Takasaka Gucci, of course, from Versus and Reborn and Crazy Samurai Musashi. And how did he come to be involved, and what was it like working with him? And he's playing this very stoic kind of swordsman character. So how was that kind of crafted for him?
Okay. 今回タクがキャストに入ってるわけですけれども、彼曰くそのバーサスとかその過去の作品では極めてそのインターナショナルでも知られてる人だと思うんだけれども、どのように今回タクがこのプロジェクトに関わったかっていうことと、その3はそのタクのキャラクターのイメージをどのようにクリエイトしたかっていうこと、この2つです。
日本で撮影することにもなってからすぐにやっぱり、日本でやるなら坂口拓にアクション監督を絶対やってもらおうと。それは彼はもう時代劇、特に日本の刀のアクションのエキスパートですから。それでそれと同時に彼に出演してもらうのは大事で、彼は本当に日本でもレアな、本当に他にいないアクション俳優として素晴らしいので、やっぱりもっと世界にアピールしたい、ハリウッドでアピールしてみたい。彼を みんなにもっと知ってほしいなと、そういう気持ちで、タクトやりました。
なるほど。了解です。So, when the production or we all decided to shoot this in Japan, the first thing he thought came to his mind was to work with Takasaka Gucci. Him being the Sion wanted to ask Tak to become the action choreographer, for this, because he's such a great choreographer, action director. So definitely that was the first choice. And then also at the same time, Sion wanted him to be in the film because he's already pretty rare actor in Japan as an action, he's capable of action, and no one else can pull off such great action as himself. And he wanted to bring that Takasaka Guchi's talent to the world, like internationally more, let's say Hollywood, so that maybe there will be more spotlights on him as well. So that's what he thought.
Yeah, I'm hoping they looking for like the next John Wick. Yeah, so making the movie, I mean, obviously it's this really it's kind of this melding of genres. It's it's got action, it's got kind of a samurai feel to it, it's got a whole bunch of different elements to it. So what was the process like, kind of bringing the the whole thing kind of harmoniously together, and you're doing something that's a little bit almost like Mad Max Fury Road in some ways. So like what was it, how was the movie, the process of like structuring the movie, the story of the film?
今回の映画って、アクションだったり、侍だったり、ジャンルフィルムっていうか、いろんな要素が入ってるんですけれども、どのように、この、なんていうのかな、見たことのないアイディアっていうんですか、マッドマックスも入ってるようだし、侍も入ってるしっていう、この見たことのないような要素が生まれたのでしょうか。
やっぱり、日本で撮るってなった時にこのアイデアになりました。元のメキシコで撮る時にはもう少し、正統派っていうの、なんていうの、真面目なっていうか、ウエスタンムービーをちゃんと作ろうと思ったんですけど、それでニコラス・ケイジが日本でサムライアクションやるってことはもうとてつもなくウィアード、ちょっと奇妙な変わった話になりそうだから、もうどうせめちゃアナーキーな感じになるなら、もう徹底的に変な変わった世界観でやってしまおうと、そういうふうに思いつきました。
Okay, so this idea sort of mashup, East West mashup idea with samurai action. This came to him when we all decided to shoot this in Japan, and before that, what he was thinking was more like the spaghetti Western kind of traditional Western style. But then, of course, now we were shooting in Japan, and he decided that let's make a samurai action if that was the case. And then since we have a Nick Cage, let's make this. Well, he already knew that this is with Nick Cage. This is going to be he used this word anarchy, but the over the top movie, so that let's just create something crazy with Nick Cage and the samurai action. That was
I think mission accomplished with the the bombs on every part of them, but so this being your first English language movie, Nick Cage is the leading man. What were some of the challenges, and you're filming in Japan? What were some of the challenges that you maybe encountered during it? Was this done during the pandemic?
No, it was before the pandemic. So pandemic happened right after we finished the film.
Dodged a bullet.
I know. But still the same question, I guess, right? The challenge or the challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
今回そのニコラス・ケイジと日本で撮るっていう もうその発想自体すごいんだけれども、まあ、それによってこう今までにないチャレンジとか、まあ、なんかこう、チャレンジはありましたかっていうことですね。
すべてがチャレンジでしたから、もう、なんかもう、いつもテンションが上がってたと思いますね。
はい。Everything was challenged this time, you know, like literally he can't pick one way or another. The whole thing was a challenge. And so that, you know, for this entire time he was involved with this film, his tension was, you know, like adrenaline, his tension was always high.
Well, kind of related to that is, so what was maybe some of your favorite parts of the movie, to bring together the film, during the production. Obviously, again, it's got so many crazy elements in it, but what were maybe some of your favorites to actually pull off during the production?
You mean the what's the favorite, like the films that he was influenced in order to make this film, or the favorite scenes that he?
Well, actually, maybe kind of both, that because it does draws from samurai and spaghetti westerns. So, what were your influences, and what were kind of your favorite favorite parts of
I see. Okay, great. Thanks. まあ、2つ質問で、今回この最終的にプリズナーズ・ゴーストランドのこのサムライ・ウェスタンアクションを作るにあたり、何かその過去の映画からそのさんが影響を受けてそれを入れたものってあるかどうかっていうのが一つと、もう一つは作ってみて好きなシーンっていうか好きな要素ってこの映画の中でどれですか？
僕はもう子供の頃からアメリカ映画とかヨーロッパの映画をもう普通の子供としては頭おかしいクレイジーだっていうぐらいにいっぱい見まくってたんで、だから意識するしないにかかわらず、もうめちゃくちゃいっぱいの映画がこの映画にはもう詰まってるはずなんですね。だから、
そうだね。
だからどの映画だっていうか、もうそういうのはもうめちゃくちゃいっぱいあって。
なるほど。
まあでも、例えばニコラス・ケイジと一緒にプラン立てたのは、セルジオ・レオネ監督の Once Upon a Time in West の、チャールズ・ブロンソンは今回のヒーローの役にぴったりじゃないかっていうようなこととか、まあなんか本当にいろいろあったと思いますね。
なるほど。じゃあそれは OK です。じゃあもう一つの質問で、この映画の中で、まあ、むしろ好きなところ、どこでしょうか？
やっぱりその侍の時代劇の中に車が走ったり、芸者が携帯持ってニコラスを撮影してたりとか、そういう絶対におかしいところが好きです。
Okay. So, okay. First of all, he has watched a lot of American and European films since he was a child. You know, more like people was just telling him you're crazy because he saw so many films, you know, Western films while he was growing up in Japan. So that being said, he thinks that there are so many elements without having a conscious, there would be a lot of films that should be in here as, influences. However, if I have to pick one or two, then it's true that he and Nick Cage, they discuss about the maybe creating the hero. We should be, considering somebody, Charles Bronson in a film like Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in the West, stuff like that. So there are things like that he discussed with Nick. So maybe that's what it is. And also the things that he likes in this film, they are, this is a samurai film, but then you see the cars going around. And you see geishas from the old style, in the old style. However, they're using a cell phone, taking photos, stuff. So all that mixed up, a mixture of the old and new, all those ideas he loves.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it really was quite a blend of different genres and different elements. And so, yeah, really turned into something pretty special here, I think. So, yeah. So, yeah, Ko and Sion, thank you so much for your time today, and good luck with the release coming up pretty soon. And yeah, just a little bit. So, arigato.
ありがとう。
ありがとう。